everybody, it's Georgia Rose from Zencuda. Welcome to our beautiful soul space. And as you can see, the chair next to me is empty. You can see it, it's empty. Because my guest Phoenix Green couldn't come at the last minute. So we're sending him all love and wishing him well. I hope everything's good with Phoenix. But I miss him because I don't have a guest star. But I think I can carry the show. So tonight we're going to talk about astrology, and we're going to talk about eclipse season finally being here. But most of all, we're going to talk about the cosmic energy and how it affects all of us. So we're going to open up the phone lines right away. So if you guys have any questions that you want to ask about the energy, you certainly can do that. But I want to talk a little bit about how the energy affects us. So many of us have anxiety, or we have symptoms that don't really, we think we have something wrong with us, or we're getting sick, or maybe we're just overwhelmed with life, when really we're just downloading energy. So we'll talk about that a little bit on the show today too. So I'd love to hear your experiences about how energy has been affecting you, or if you've been feeling tired or headachy or anything like that. So I'm going to start with the astrology tonight. I have my astrology notes. For those of you who do astrology, sometimes we get stuck in that black hole. We're thinking about so many things that we could possibly do. So astrology is just one of the tools that I use here in the soul space. And I am actually going to share my show so that everyone out there can see what we're doing and be with us in this beautiful soul space. Let me get that. Got to share it to a bunch of pages, so just bear with me for a few minutes. So the energy has actually been pretty darn good lately, I have to say. We are officially in eclipse season, and that'll bring things to light for us. But for most of us who do our work all the time, that's not going to be such a hard time around this time. I think we've had a lot of challenges and a lot of conflicts this year, and things are going to actually loosen up for us a little bit. Okay, I think I have my show on there. Maybe do one more. We'll put it on the Zencuda site also. For those of you who watch me on Georgia Rose Zencuda, we want to make sure that you see me on here. All right. And you can also watch us on all the podcast platforms. We're on Spreaker and Spotify and everything. And after the show actually is over, we rerun it on public access, channel 115 on Cablevision. And soon, you're even going to see us on Fios. So for those of you who are out of the area a little bit, you'll be able to see us on television as well. So, sharing it to the last show. This thing is just scrolling along here. So what does it mean to be in eclipse season? Well, eclipses bring things to light, and they also put us in darkness. If you think about it, whether it's a lunar eclipse, which is the moon, or a solar eclipse, which is the sun, one light part passes before the other. So you have a portion of darkness and then light again. Very, very significant for doing shadow work, for revealing things that maybe we do or don't want to see. It's significant that maybe if you've been working on a certain conflict or a certain situation, or trying to get some clarity about something, during eclipse season, things may come to light. And this season will probably last for about the next 18 months, 6 to 18 months actually for some of us, depending on where it is in your chart. But eclipses also bring things to light that maybe we don't want to see. And that's why it's an excellent time to do shadow work. So right now there's a lot of energy shifting, a lot of emotional releases with this eclipse. It's in Scorpio Taurus. So that's definitely doing shadow work. Transformation, transfiguration is really the themes that you're going to see with this energy. Nicole says she's had bad anxiety. Sarah says headaches. Yeah, it's all part of processing some of the energy that we have. As far as the astrology goes, this is a time, eclipse season is a time of transition. So it's not unusual. And for those of you who look a lot on social media, you'll see a lot more posts about people passing, elderly parents maybe passing over and crossing over. You'll see even a lot of pets passing over. People changing jobs, moving their physical address. Eclipse season, especially the Scorpio-Taurus axis, is a time when people do make major change in their life and major transformation. So you're going to see that a lot more in this next little while. You'll see a lot of that energy between now and December 4th, when we have the new moon, and things start to change a little bit. So typically, Scorpio is a sign that can bring sadness. It's a lot of closures. And when the sun is in Scorpio, like it is now, happy birthday to all you Scorpions. It can be a time when, it's getting darker earlier in certain parts of the hemisphere. The leaves are falling off the tree. It's a time of sadness. So some of us may be feeling that just, organically because of the time of year that it is. But Scorpio also brings things that are very poignant and deep emotions during that sad times. And what I would say to you is honor that space. Sometimes we want to distract as soon as we feel a sadness or a little bit of a heavier energy. And I think when you are on the spiritual path or you're really trying to elevate your life, distracting yourself from those times of sadness or those times of deep emotional release and poignancy really is destructive instead of constructive. I think the constructive thing to do is to be able to sit with those emotions a little bit and be able to go in deeper to them. Because I guarantee you, if you can do that without wallowing in them, which is something you have to be careful of with Scorpio, you can wallow a little bit. If you can do that and just sit with those emotions, I guarantee you in this particular time where the planets are during eclipse season, you will have something come to the surface that's really going to help you elevate your life and help you make those changes that we're all trying to make. So that would be my suggestion for the sadness if anyone feels it. So hi, you're welcome to the Soul Space. Somebody's calling in. This is Georgia Rose. Who am I talking to?
Hey, my name is Mare. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, Mare. What's up with you? How are you doing in this energy?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. So how can we help you
I'm
today?
liking it.
You have a question or just hanging out?
I guess I had two things swirling in my head. One was romance/relationship.
Okay.
And the other was career, creativity type thing.
And do you know what sign you are? When is your birthday?
July 22nd. I'm Cancer Leo cusp.
Oh, okay. So that's actually interesting because Cancer, the opposite of Cancer is Capricorn. And there has been so many things happening in Capricorn these last couple of years. So I would be surprised if you haven't had some kind of revelations or a lot of changes in your life. So what I'm going to say for romance in general, and then I'll see if I pick up on anything particularly for you. But for romance in general, for all of us now, Venus, the planet of love, is in Capricorn, which is the opposite of your sun sign. So sometimes when Venus opposes our sun sign, which it does for you particularly, we can find romance a little rocky. So my suggestion for you would be, especially on that Cancer Leo cusp as you are, you sometimes want to control things a little bit with love. You want love to be powerful. And what I would say for you is let things flow a little bit and really observe, go into that observer mind, because you might have a tendency to move too fast in this energy with romance.
Okay.
So I would definitely pull back a little bit and just observe. And, if there's anybody you're interested in, kind of watch them a little bit from afar. Or if you're in a long-term relationship and there's things that you want to change, think about what you have to do to change them and observe that, because I think sometimes you'll want to change the other person too quickly. Does that make sense?
That does make sense, yes. But I'm not in a long-term relationship, but I do get that.
Yeah. So for everyone right now, romance in general, I'm going to say Venus in Capricorn is a tough energy. Venus really doesn't like to be in Capricorn. And unfortunately, with retrogrades, Venus is going to be in Capricorn for about 6 months. So for all of us, it's going to be a time when we're going to start to question some of our relationships, especially with Uranus being very potent in the chart through 2022 and being the great awakener. Uranus is where we want to have freedom. So for all of us in general with romance the next 6 months, we're going to question a lot of things. We're going to be asking ourselves what we value. Are the things we think we value useful to us? And do they help our lives elevate in any way? And we're going to go through a period where we're going to start really cleaning out a lot of things that are not highly vibrational to us. So, whether you're in a long-term relationship or just looking to be single and meeting people, you're going to start to put a lot more thought into the things you value and the things you love. not just even relationship-wise, but also in terms of money, material things. Venus, that planet of love, is anything that we find valuable, our families, whatever it might be.
Right.
So keep that in mind, because especially for you, that Venus is opposing your sun sign.
Got it. Okay.
So I'm going to pull a couple of cards for you, and just
Okay.
to see what comes up.
Right.
So now, you said you're in a long-term relationship or no?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Is there somebody that you work with that you're interested in? Or you might not want to say on air.
No, actually, no. It's not somebody I work with. No.
Because I feel like someone, if it's not someone that you work with now, I feel like someone that you work with is going to come in for you, because that just came through for me. Because I'm seeing like a work environment type thing with romance. So, Mare, are you all very highly intuitive? Do you do anything with cards or astrology or anything?
Yes, yes. I'm
Okay.
very intuitive.
Because that's what I'm getting. Because I just pulled the High Priestess card, and I feel like that's you. So
Okay.
I feel like there's a couple of things going on with you in your life right now. Yeah, like you're walking away from an emotional situation, or you have already done that, and there's something else coming in. Like there's a transition going on. I almost feel like the scales are like adjusting, like they were one way and now they're going the other direction.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Yeah,
It could happen.
maybe,
I'm hoping to.
right?
Yeah,
I'm getting your vibe, babe.
Yeah, maybe, baby. That's right. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think that's the way you want it to go anyway. I feel like what you walked away from, if there's something that you're letting kind of slide or pulling away a little bit from, or if you've already gone away from that, I feel like that was a good choice. I feel like it was good that you're kind of letting that
I'm
go.
still trying to walk away from that, but yeah, I think it is a good choice too.
Yeah.
It's a matter of being able to stay away. Yeah.
Right, and that's what I'm getting. So I'm going to say to you, be patient, because I feel like what's come in for you, or what you want to come in for you, it's very new. In this stage, it may be someone you've known for a while that's you want to come in and be more, but in this regard of you being available is new to that situation.
I'm new to being available.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's totally true. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's someone
Yeah.
there's someone you kind of have your eye on, let's say. I'm trying to be
True.
diplomatic.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, you're doing good there, Ro.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is you being available is new to that situation, so give it time.
Okay.
Yeah. Because when you have the lulls and you have those times when you're a little bit lonely, or you're not so distracted, that's when you're tempted to go back to the past relationship. Sit in that space, because if you can sit in that space, it's going to make the newer relationship stronger. So don't go running back to the ex. Use the alone time, use the downtime to make yourself stronger for what's coming in for you.
Okay.
You got
Cool.
that?
I like
Yeah.
that.
Because
I like it. Yeah.
because I feel like you need that quiet time and you're not taking it.
And what about, do you see anything there for like, for work? Now, I'm not a 9-to-5er.
Yeah, I got
an
that, because I saw like you see people in your work, or you have like there's always new things coming in. Like it's not, I feel like it's not the same every day. Like you don't have a desk job. Like you meet people a lot.
I'm a performer.
Okay.
So I have a lot of things in the fire that I'm hoping will come to fruition.
Okay, because that's what I feel like. I feel like especially this next little while, like the next several weeks, like into, I'd say, towards the end of January, like this whole time, I see a lot of people coming in and out of that professional life.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're trying new venues or new roles, or you're going for a new project, but I feel a lot of newness, especially now that we're in eclipse season, I feel like there's a lot of new things coming in, and you're building them right now.
Well, yeah, I have a new project that I really feel is going to be the tipping point in many things.
And that could be very possible, because that's what I feel like. The energy is very new. It's almost like this isn't an eruption. This is a slow burn. And I think that one of your things about you is you don't always have that patience. You want everything to be a grand gesture.
Uh-huh.
Well, don't kind of get away from that because this is something that you're going to build slower. It happens
Okay.
for you, but it also teaches you a little bit of patience. One thing that I
Oh.
learned that I'm going to explain is when I feel a super urgency to do something, like whether it's a show I'm doing here or a live event or whatever, and I'm like making myself pressured, like I have to do this, I have to do this, or somebody else is going to do it, or it's a great idea, I got to do it now. That's my ego. It's my
Okay.
ego wanting to be out first and up front. And when we do that to ourselves, we don't always complete the work to the point it's ready. So don't
Got
rush this. Make sure it's ready.
Okay.
Okay? Because I
Okay.
do think this is going to be really huge for you. But it's like that commercial. I think it was with Orson Welles. No wine before it's time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
And enjoy the process because I'm going to pull. Yeah, because it's all about balance for you. I'm getting this card. And then the other card that came through was the lovers upside down. And in this reading, I don't think it means literal lovers. Lovers, when I get it, especially reversed and upside down, means interference. So take that quiet time to work on your project
Okay.
because this is a good project, but it's like birthing a baby. Let it have that gestation period.
Got it.
I feel like
Okay.
it's very
Cool.
unique.
It's very what?
Very unique to you.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all the more reason why you have to allow it its form and its time. I feel like, especially with eclipse season happening, the new moon on December 4th is going to be extremely powerful for you because whatever came in on November 19th on the full moon had to do with this project, and you may have heard something or had an interest or a call or something vegging during that time. December, beginning of December, give or take a few days, like from the 4th to the 12th, you get more news regarding the same line of energy that started on the 19th of November.
No, fabulous. Okay.
Yeah, so think about what was going on around there. That's when it all starts to gel. So trust the universe, let it flow, okay?
Okay, babe. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Thank you for
Okay.
calling in.
You will.
So Mir had a situation that was really very appropriate for the eclipse season because when that full moon came in on November 9th, that was a time when things were revealed or something came to our minds about, we're working on all this stuff this year. And we learned stuff and we tried new things. We went this way and we went that way. And now we're at the time when all that stuff we learned is going to get put to good use. So I have another caller. Oh, they hung up. So now is the time it's all going to get put to good use. So around that November 19th time was when you got the ideas all coming together that you've been working on. And now you know what you have to do. And then towards December, that new moon, things are going to just pop in. Hi, welcome to the Soul Space.
Yeah, can I speak to Georgia?
I am Georgia Rose. How are you?
Oh, this is Marianne.
Hi, Marianne. How are you doing?
Not so good.
Yeah, you sound a little
Hi.
down. I think that's the season for us, though, sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So is there anything in particular going on?
I just want to know what's happening with my life.
Oh, well, I don't know if I have enough time for that, but we're going to answer a little bit of it. How's that sound?
Okay.
All right. So I'm feeling when you call into the show often, and not often, but once in a while. And as soon as I heard your voice today, I felt the sadness. And I think that what I'm getting here is that I'm trying to find my words. The sadness you're feeling isn't just about one thing. I know you've had loss in your life. I know your husband passed. But I feel like this sadness is about a bigger picture than that. So, yeah. So, and I feel like you're kind of getting too deep into it. It's like there's this black, dark hole. And it's sucking you in again where you were doing better. So I know that's grief, honey, and I'm definitely an expert on grief. Not clinically or certifiably, but just with life. And I'm not trying to make light of your situation, but this is a time of year when sadness happens. We have a lot of loss. It gets dark out, like I was just saying. I feel like you need to and I hardly ever give anyone this advice, but I feel like you need to distract yourself. And I think you sat in the sadness enough, and you need to come out of it. So I'm going to pull 3 cards for you to see what's going on. I feel like you need to take a trip.
I wish I could.
I was going to say, are you planning anything?
No, there's no trips going on.
Okay, because you are definitely carrying some burdens that aren't yours. I feel almost like the energy is pulling you down, but it's really not just, the loss of the husband is something that you've been dealing with, but there's something else that just came in that kind of threw you. Was that something with family?
Yes.
Yeah, because I feel it very heavily. You've got to do some thinking, because I feel like some of the stuff that's happening with family is not your burden, and you're taking on more than you should. I also feel you have to watch your health, because if you let yourself go into too low a vibration, you're going to have some health issues. So it's really important for you to pull out of this. And what I'm going to do is suggest to you, if you can get out of the house a little bit every day and walk, even if it's like a walk down the mall, but try and get out in light. I think you need to absorb more light, especially in the crown of the head, Marianne, because I feel like you're really getting pulled downward, and I want to bring you upwards. Your vibration has to lift up. Have you been having headaches?
No.
Because I feel a lot of energy around the head.
A little bit, yeah.
I feel like a lot of energy around the head, like you need more light. So even if you go out in the backyard or the front porch or whatever and sit a little bit every day, I feel like you need to take light in, and that's going to help you feel lighter. There's 3 things that we have to do every day in order to get away from sadness and depression. And those 3 things are, we have to eat healthy, we have to take time to check out of our life in the sense of just giving ourselves a break, whether it's 15 or 20 minutes. And then the other thing is to go into light for 15 to 20 minutes, white light, the sun, even if it's not out, the sun's still up there. And that's my advice to you. I really feel like you're taking on burdens that aren't yours. You need to really kind of detach from some of that and be out in the light more.
Okay.
Yeah. Try those things. I bet you're going to feel better if you do them. All right, sweetie, thank you for calling in.
All right, bye.
Bye. One of the things this season, we do get sad, and we do, have times because the Scorpio energy is very, dark, and it's very intense. And so it's really important to go out in that light. Even if it's cold out and you don't want to be in the cold, even if you sit in the window and let the light come in, or drive in the car to a beautiful park, even if you sit in the car and just let the sun come into you. Really, really important to absorb light energy. And especially this winter, it's going to be really important to absorb light. So I just want to get back to the astrology for a minute and talk about that Scorpio-Taurus axis, which we're going to be in for a while because the nodes of the moon are going to be there for the next 18 months, starting next month. So when we think about Scorpio-Taurus, this is a really easy way to think about the theme that's going to be with us for the next 18 months. One of the themes, anyway. Taurus is our nourishment. It's food. The sign of Taurus is people who garden and the earth and sustainability and resources. So Taurus is our nourishment and food. And at the opposite end of the chart is Scorpio. Scorpio is elimination, right? In Taurus, we eat, and we get nourishment, and we grow things, and we're taught how to do things, how to be resourceful. In Scorpio, we're taught how to eliminate what no longer serves us. Scorpio is actually the digestive system and actually pooping. So not that it is that, but that it's eliminating what no longer serves us, which is part of the cycle of life. So when you have Taurus, which is teaching us to grow things and be resourceful and nourish us and bring us food, and you have Scorpio, which is asking us to observe life deeply, to be poignant and emotional and intense in order to get rid of what no longer serves us, it's actually a beautiful time in our lives. But of course, the lower octave of those energies is to become too materialistic in Taurus and wanting goods and things. And in Scorpio, it's diving deep and becoming too intense and not getting out of the deep dive, not coming back to the surface. So the higher octave of this energy is really used for transformation, transfiguration in a very healthy and very whole way. And that's really the way you want to use it. We have Mercury in Sagittarius right now, which is all about truth. Anything not of the light is going to be revealed. We see that happening more and more and more. The nodes of the moon, Mercury is answering to that. That's complete fate, especially on the 24th and 25th of this week. Jupiter in Aquarius is working with Mercury in Sagittarius, truth and optimism. So this is a good week for that. But remember when you go into those Thanksgiving gatherings that you need to look at those gatherings and look at family and loved ones and close friends with eclipse eyes. What do I mean by that? Well, the eclipse reveals things. And this particular eclipse, the Scorpio-Taurus axis, wants us to use what we see to grow and use what we see to eliminate what no longer serves us. So think about that, because that Jupiter in Aquarius energy isn't always diplomatic. So work with this eclipse energy and that beautiful Taurus resourcefulness, the growth, and the Scorpio observation, the wise one, the phoenix rising from the ashes, in order to really observe your family, your friends, the conversations, the things that go on. And think about how you really want to act, all right? Because we're going to be having a beautiful holiday and huge gatherings in eclipse energy, and that can sometimes be a little harsh. So now I'm going to switch a little bit. Well, let me just finish one more thing about the Thanksgiving energy. Think about the choices you make, and that's really what I'm trying to say with that. You know, be the observer, look and see what's going on, listen to people's comments, their actions, their demeanor, to see what you want to keep and grow with and what you want to throw away. But stay true and authentic while you're doing it, because that's what this energy is all about. We've got Saturn and the moon this week in conflict. Saturn is going to tell you what you should do, and the moon's going to be like, I don't want to do that. So you really want to stay in your authentic truth to get the best of it. Listen and hear, focus on what you want your process to be. Take what you need and leave the rest without getting agitated and in conflict about it. That's my best advice for Thanksgiving dinner, because in some circles this can be emotional reckoning. And we don't want that to happen while the turkey's cooking. All right, so I am going to switch gears now. I want to talk about energy, and I want you guys to call into the show and tell me what kind of energy symptoms you have. I'm going to go to my comments now. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Joanne. Sarah. A quick tip to a local hotel for Marianne. Yeah, she needs a getaway. That's how I feel. Staycation, pamper yourself. You can do that too, but I feel like she needs to just. Sometimes, you know, we all get in that downward spiral, a little bit of doldrum. You need to just break it and change the scenery, something to change a habit, right? Denise is watching. I have Suzanne watching. Hey, soul sister. Sarah has saying headaches. Nicola, bad anxiety. Okay, so I want to talk about some of these symptoms, because if you listen to a lot of gurus, you're going to hear a lot of people on YouTubes and influencers and me. You're going to hear them talk a lot about that. The galaxy that the Earth is in is now in the photon belt. Now, I'm not here to say if that's absolutely true or not true, but I do believe that we are in a portion of the universe where there is more light than we have ever been before. And when I say that, let's pull that apart a little bit. Let's unpack that. So if the universe has different galaxies and different areas, and some areas have more light than darkness, what is light to us? Light is energy. Light is pure, right? We all know that light feeds us. Some people even believe you can nourish yourself on light without even eating or drinking. There's programs on Gaia about that. But there's a portion of people who believe that the Earth is now, our galaxy, the Milky Way, is now spinning into or is in the photon belt. The photon belt is a light band near the planet Sirius in that portion of the galaxy. And our star or our Earth, our galaxy, moves into that, they are saying for about 2,000 years we'll be there. but that this happens every 11,000 years. So we are undergoing this huge shift of energy, awakening, lightening, quickening of the human species. Now, I'm not here to endorse that or not endorse it. What I personally believe may not be what you believe, and I'm going to give you guys information so that you can unpack it yourselves and decide what you believe and what seems to sit with you and what reconciles with you in your heart and soul space. That's what the soul space is all about, that we meet here every Monday at 7 o'clock. Information, open-mindedness and open-heartedness, so that we can discern what works for us and what we believe is true. So regardless of a photon belt or not a photon belt, or this existing or not existing, when we step into the reality of now, we can't deny that things are changing drastically in the last few years, and when we look to the future, we see things even speeding up more. So what's causing that? Well, it makes sense that it would be light, more light, right? Because light is energy, light is nourishment, light is light. It makes us see everything that is in the dark. There is never only darkness. There is always light. Even when we're in shadow, there's light, because you can't have shadows without light, right? So it's my belief that this gigantic belt of light, or photons, or whatever you want to call it, exists, and that we are in it, we are running towards it cosmically. Because for me, that explains the quickening that we feel in our bodies. And if most of you have found this channel and are watching, you've probably had a symptom or two of this. And I'm going to read you some of the symptoms of ascension, which is what we call it, because when we are starting to absorb more light energetically, whether that's in our aura or our energy body or our brain or our physical space, we start to feel differently because our vibration is changing. And last week we had Gina Califano on, and we spoke, Gina and I had a conversation about how it seems like there's two different types of worlds right now. People who are coping and having a wonderful time, and people who are so angry and in stress and getting violent and more violent every day. Well, that's because there are people who can handle this amount of light that's coming in, this new light, and there are people who can't, based on their own vibration. Everything has a frequency. If you listen to music, the chords, the octaves, everything's a different frequency. Every person also vibrates at a different frequency. And we vibrate at different frequencies at different times. If we're sick and we have a cold, we're going to vibrate very low. We're not really even going to feel like getting out of this chair, and everything's just going to be seeming like it's such an effort. And we just don't have the energy. We don't have the light to go do things. But when we just got, like, we just won $5,000 and we're in the winning lottery and we're having a great time, or we meet the love of our life, or we get a promotion at work, now we have so much energy we just don't know what to do with it because our vibration's high. So joy and happiness, gratitude puts us in a high vibration. We all know that. Dis-ease, anger, jealousy puts us in a low vibration. So if you're an angry or jealous or negative person, you're not going to be able to handle it when our planet spins into a more light, which gives us a higher vibration. Your body's going to rebel a little bit. And for those of us who are in a pretty high vibration, when the planet starts spinning into new places of super high vibration and more light, and our bodies and minds want to absorb that, we're going to feel some symptoms while we're adjusting to that new vibration. So think about it if you were on a bicycle, built for two. And the person in front of you has more energy. They've absorbed more light. And they're going to pedal like this. But maybe you're not in such a great mood and you've had something, a detriment happen, or you've had some kind of conflict and you're not really energetic and you're pedaling like this. You're going to clash, right? You're going to fall behind, or you're going to have a symptom, or the person in front of you is going to start to feel tired because they're pumping too much now, trying to pull you along. It's the same thing with the energetic vibration in the earth. Our bodies have to match the vibration. And when we have power surges or solar surges from different things that happen in the cosmos, our bodies have to adjust and we'll feel physical symptoms. So I'd love to hear from you guys of what you think about all this and what you think is going on. Yes, oxytocin. That's so true, Pauline. Oxytocin is what we feel when we exercise, when we laugh, etc. So this is a list of ascension symptoms, and we say ascension because your vibration is being pulled higher. So think of it as going. So you might feel stress, which we all do anyway, but sometimes we feel disoriented for no reason. Like you walk in a room and everything feels kind of far away, or things feel like maybe you even feel robotic at times, or you're driving in the car and you get disoriented and you don't know how you got that far, or you feel like you already drove on that road. You know, time hops, like time kind of changes and we don't know where it went. That's also because your body's calibrating to the vibration of the earth and the cosmos. Unusual aches and pains. Your body's trying to adjust to a different frequency. Waking at night between 2 and 4. That's usually when we have the most openness to our body, because when we're sleeping, we're open. We don't have any brain closing us down. So you're going to feel that vibration, those disturbances more. And that gives us anxiety. Memory loss. This happens to me all the time lately. I find that I can't remember someone's name and they're standing right in front of me, and I'll tell myself, okay, I just have too much going on or something like that. And I try and explain it away and give it a three-dimensional, an earthbound world explanation, but it's probably just light coming in and too much energy coming in. Heightened sensitivity to your surroundings. Have you ever just all of a sudden just felt like, wow, everything just got real, like an energy surge? That's just a vibrational surge. Dizziness, loss of balance, back and neck pain, ring in the ears. I hear so many people with tinnitus or tinnitus, whatever you pronounce it, blurred vision, heart palpitations, headaches, crying about anything. That happens when you're open. Sometimes when you're on a spiritual awakening, all of a sudden you find yourself so emotional and you'll start crying over the littlest thing. You know, like the old cliche about the Hallmark commercials, the card commercials or something. But it's because your vibration is just really opened up to so many things. You'll have either really high vibrational energy and you'll want to go, 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 or you won't feel like doing anything. And suddenly you'll feel friends kind of fall away because you're no longer in sync with them. So there's so many different things, clumsiness, lack of coordination. Right now we're in a place in the cosmos because of where Neptune is in Pisces. We're going to have a lot of energy come in our dream state. Dream space is a place where do not disregard, don't wake up and say, oh, I'm not going to really see my dreams, I don't really need to remember them, it didn't make sense anyway. Keep a dream journal on your night table. Dream space, especially in the next couple of months, is going to be really, really important for you to interpret your energy. Anything subconsciously, hypnotism, processes like that, huge in the next few months. I know this happened with me where my diet just completely changed. There's certain foods I just don't eat anymore. I don't even want them. I don't even crave them. I just don't vibrate with them. That happens a lot when you're in this kind of a change and recalibration. The anxiety is coming in for a lot of us because we feel energy and we don't know what to do with it. And what I can say is that I had a tremendous amount of anxiety in my life. I still sometimes do. And it's because of the psychic energy. The psychic energy for me, if I try to distract myself from it or squash it or deny it, it builds up a lot of anxiety in my physical body. And I thought I used to have this tremendous anxiety disorder. And then when I started to embrace my psychic ability, a lot of it dissipated. It was energy trapped and not knowing where to go. So it could be that you need to expand on that. You could be a healer or someone who is highly intuitive. Maybe get yourself a deck of angel cards or a card, you know, any kind of cards that maybe will help you do your intuition. There's oracle cards on my website that I created called Circle of Light that you can use. Anything that allows you to open yourself to that energy without being fearful of it will help anxiety if that's one of your issues. Other people have anxiety because we have physical things happen to us from the downloads of energy, solar storms on the sun, or you know, the Schumann resonance, which Phoenix Green's going to come on and talk about. He couldn't come today. When the Earth is vibrating and the Earth has a spike in energy, which happens, we actually, you know, watch the Schumann resonance measures the vibrational pull of the Earth. When those spikes happen, that will give people anxiety or headaches or aches and pains or disorientation. So start familiarizing yourself with where the vibration of the earth is and see if it correlates to your anxiety level. Because I know for a lot of people that's what it is, but we try and label it and explain it in the earthbound world, and it's not. It's really energy coming through that we're processing that way. And sometimes that will also affect your ability to retain information. You know, you're reading a book and you just can't retain it because you're getting power surges. A lot of times what helps me with that is I do spend time by myself. Sometimes I need to just pull away. I had Friendsgiving at my house Saturday evening, and we had a really great group of people, and it was really enjoyable. And the next day, everyone was posting pictures and commenting about everything. I didn't really participate in that because I needed to just step back because I'd been around a lot of people over the course of a couple of days. And I need to go back and have my introspection. That alleviates a lot of the energetic anxiety for me. So that can help as well. But one of the things about anxiety also is anxiety happens when we're thinking ahead. I have to do this, or this should happen, or what if this happens, or behind. Oh, I didn't do that right. I should have done it this way. Oh my God, I forgot to. If you stay present in the moment and in mindfulness, and you are truly where your feet are at every moment of the day, you can't have anxiety, because in that moment you're fine. I'm fine now. Everything's fine. Everything, as a matter of fact, I'm having a nice time. So it becomes not an anxious moment. Anxious moments come when we worry about something that didn't happen yet or something that did happen that gave us stress. Does that make sense? So Elaine says, a lot of dreaming and talking in your sleep. You're probably getting what we call downloads. You know that. I'm telling you, dream space over the next couple of months is going to be like, wee! Because a lot of your revelations are going to come out in dream space with where the planets are, especially as we get deeper into the winter time. So try to meditate every day because you're going to get amazing downloads on your meditations as well. Also, this is a big one. A lot of times we're going to feel like we want to go home, but we're home. So a feeling of just being lost and like, you know, I wish I could go home. What is home? Where is home? I don't know where home is, but I feel like I want to go there. Or you go out and you stay 15 minutes and you want to go home, but you couldn't wait to go out. You were home and you couldn't wait to go out, but you get out and now you want to go home. That's because what you're really doing, your soul is searching for a place of respite, a place of comfort, a place of peace. So if that's one of your symptoms, meditate, meditate, meditate. You need to connect with the spiritual world. And like I was just talking about dream state, meditations will be very heightened in the next couple of months. So it's a really good time to start meditating if you never have, because you're going to connect with the other realms a lot easier. And also the fact that we're spinning into this place where there's much more light, that we're being taken in as a species, that also makes the veil between worlds much, much thinner. The more light there is, the less of a fog or a differentiation there is between the dimensions, because everything's just light. It's like, think about, you know, you have a splinter in your finger and you're trying to get out at your kitchen table, but then you go into a brightly lit room or outside, you can take that splinter out a lot easier. It's like that with the dimensions. You know, you have 3D and 5D in the seventh dimension, and we have people like myself who cross worlds and read people who have passed over. That's much easier to do now, and that's why you're going to see so many people coming into the spirituality and so many people becoming readers and all of these things, because the light is being shined on places where there were darkness and veils, and now you can see right through them. So the amount of psychic ability that we have as a species right now is off the hook, and everyone has the ability to do that. That doesn't mean everyone does it well or does it with integrity. So that's where your choice needs to be. Is the person I'm going to for a reading or for spiritual guidance of the highest integrity that I need for myself? So make sure their vibration matches your vibration, right? So anybody else have anything in the comments I'm going to read that you are feeling? I'm seeing a lot of anxiety. Hey, Janine. Yeah, the anxiety is coming in because we're recalibrating our vibration. Time distortions also make us anxious, and there are a lot of time distortions going on where you'll feel, I know this happens to me quite often, either the day is going extremely slow, or I look at the clock and I feel like I lost time. It never seems to be normalized and on track. That's because our vibration no longer matches the clock. Because what is the clock? What is time? It was created by man. It's not a spiritual or other dimensional thing. If you're in the fifth dimension or you're in a higher dimension of frequency, there's no time as we know it. So we're trying to live our lives by a clock that we no longer are in sync with because we're vibrating higher. We're going into different dimensions, but the clock that's been man-made is still trying to pull us into that routine. So it doesn't feel normal for us. I also believe that's why working from home has become such prominence, because that 9 to 5, as we knew it, is no longer in alignment with our species. So, and it makes us anxious when we try and put ourselves into it. So try and eat when you need to eat, sleep when you need to sleep, work when you need to work, based on your body's vibration, not the clock on the wall, right? Makes more sense to making yourself more in line with what's going on. All right. And also allow the new energy. Our bodies are going to feel weird until we get a little bit used to so much light. And one of the ways we can do that is to definitely go out into the light and process light through our body, through our crown, meditate outside in the light, go to the beach, go to the park, go to the forest, wherever you might live. Because the unpleasant physical symptoms that you never had before, the headaches, the heart palpitations, the chronic fatigue, the dizziness, the changing of the sleep pattern, the ringing in the ears, the blurred vision, it's because we're processing the light and it's coming in too quickly. So the more we adjust to it by going out in it, the less those symptoms will be for us. There's a really great series of articles online about the photon belt and about processing the energy of being in more light and the energetic and cosmic downloads that we're all feeling right now. And the person that you want to look up is Barbara Hand Clow, like cow with an L. Barbara Hand Clow, C-L-O-W. She does so much really beautiful writing about moving into the space of the photon energy band that we're going into. And she does it in a really great way. The other way that this energy is processing for all of us is through these weird weather patterns that we're seeing. Because, like I said, the Earth is now going into an area of time and space where it's never been before. So we're going to see those things kind of happen. But the best thing you can do for any of these symptoms, and for anxiety or if it's headaches or whatever, the best thing you can do is take time out of every day to do those three things. Check out of the three-dimensional world for a little while, whether that's taking a hot bath or going out on your deck or walking in the yard or wherever it is. Like, just check out. Maybe it's reading a book or going to a church or whatever it might be. Daily basis spiritual practice where you're checked out of the life that you're living. You get a reprieve from it in some way for 5 or 10 minutes. Go out into light for 15 or 20 minutes, even if it's sitting by a window. And the third thing is really important: to eat healthy, high vibrational foods and clean the body out. Those three things, if you do them on a regular basis for about, I would say, try 21 to 30 days, you're going to feel worlds different, and you're going to see a lot of your symptoms actually dissipate, because that's what your body is requiring you to do. Now, as I started to say before, there are certain people who cannot process this energy. If they're in a low vibration because of abuse or as abusers, or they are people who are negative, jealous, angry, sad, depressed, conflictable, just those are people who will have a very, very hard time in this energy. So what do? They're going to act out. They're going to act out and spill all their wounds all over the sidewalks, all over you. We see it every day when we drive in traffic, in the grocery store, on the news. These are people who cannot adjust to this energy. We need to have compassion for them. One of the greatest lessons is having compassion for the non-compassionate. So we need to send love there and try and raise their vibration so that they can join those who are actually processing this energy. And I know it's not always easy, but it takes valiant work, and it takes valor, and it takes a great warrior. And that's why we have the soul space, to keep us all company while we do it. So that's it for what I had tonight to talk about. Let me see what's in the comments. yeah, anxiety really, I think all of us are having that. I feel very drained today. Aaron is saying he felt drained today. I felt very drained the last 2 days. I thought maybe it was because of the entertaining I did in my home, but I do believe it's the eclipse season affecting a lot of us. There's a lot of cosmic energy out there, and it's processing us. It almost feels like a short circuit, if I could say that, like beep, beep. We get like this jolt, and then we just, come down off it. Yeah, Phoenix is going to come back again. I know you're all dying to hear all about the Earth's Schumann resonance. That's a really great subject. Research it so that you know what we're talking about when he comes on, probably in another week or two. Also, my once a month event. On the last Sunday of every month, we are going to have a live event here at Paradise Studios in Massapequa, New York. But that will also be a pay-per-view event as well. You can get information on that on strongisland.com. And what I'll be doing in that, it'll be like an hour or 2 hours, probably closer to 2 hours. Every last Sunday of the month, I'll be giving an overview of the month to come. So you know what dates are great for romance, what dates are great financially, what dates are great for having conversations, what dates should we just kind of lay low, what's really happening with the cosmos so that we can use this energy to live our best life through astrology. So we'll be talking a lot in those discussions, particularly about 2022 and what's going on in the world. 2022 is a very, 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 very powerful energy for the United States of America. It will be going into its Pluto return, which only happens every 246 years. And this happens to be exactly where Pluto was when the Declaration of Independence was signed. I'm going to be doing a whole series of videos on that on my YouTube channel. It's going to definitely affect the financial markets and a lot of other things in our nice, beautiful little country. So you want to be informed about that and prepared. So that's our show for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope I see you all Sunday on the 28th. That's the first astrology night that we're doing here at Paradise Studios Live. We will be social distancing. It'll be safe to come. And if you don't want to come to the studio, you want to watch me in your jammy and bunny slippers, you can just do the pay-per-view. So strongisland.com, you can get your tickets there. And I will see you all on Sunday. And for those of you who aren't participating in that, I'll see you Monday at 7 o'clock in the Soul Space. Bye-bye, everybody.